Hi, my name is David Hammond and I graduated from Dundalk Institute of Technology in 2017 with a BA in Media Communications, and I'm not going to lie, I miss it every single day. DkIT was actually my first choice on my CAO form because my dad went here as a mature student a few years before I did to receive his Masters in Business, and he always talked so highly about it, the staff, the campus, everything. And he's from Cork. Do you know how difficult it is for a Cork man to say they love a college that's not in Cork? It's very difficult. If that wasn't enough proof that I'm from a DkIT kind of family, my mum is currently doing her PhD about 2 doors down from where I am right now, and she absolutely loves it. And she's a dub. Same thing. Do you know how difficult it is for a dub to say they love a college outside of Dublin? I had the happiest years of my life here, I swear. I know that sounds sad, but it's true. My old lecturers will tell you there wasn't a moment I wasn't having to crack with friends or going out or just loving being part of some group project. I wanted to study media because I've always been interested in it, and at the end of the day I wanted to be a radio presenter. So when I came across the Level 7 Media Communications course, I thought, well, that's just made for me. I came here in the September of 2014, I think, and on the first day I met a guy called Mark, and he's now one of my best mates. He's living over in America, but our whole group of friends see each other every couple of weeks and we talk every single day on WhatsApp. I made some amazing friends and we all just had the best college experience. And throughout my time in DkIT, I worked with LMFM, which is the local radio station for Louth and Meath, and in my second year here, I landed the nighttime show there. So I was going to college during the day from 9 to 5 and then coming home, having a bit of food and heading into work for 8 o'clock until midnight, which I know sounds like a lot every single day, but I loved both college and I loved the show, so it wasn't really a chore. And then after graduating, I moved to Waterford and joined Beat 102, 103 to be the nighttime presenter there. But after I compiled an entry of my best bits and won Radio DJ at the IMRO Awards, which is like the Oscars of Irish radio, they gave me a promotion. So now I present Beat's Big Lunch, and I also do some cover presenting on Spin 103.8 on the weekends. So if you're ever, in the southeast or driving around Dublin, make sure to listen in. But I'm not the only person who can call DkIT their alma mater, and certainly not the only one who went into radio after graduating. I'm very excited to talk to him. Bernard O'Shea, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I really like your hat.
Thank you very much. I like it too. Well, the reason why I have the hat on is that I haven't had a haircut in 7 months.
Come here, when did you graduate in DkIT?
I graduated in 1841 and I did that was the first year of the BA in Multimedia Studies.
Right.
No, I graduated in 2001. I graduated in cultural studies, as it was called. So you did a 3-year course in applied cultural studies, and then you did a BA in, I think it's cultural, oh God, they'll kill me now, cultural heritage management, or humanities, basically, a BA in humanities.
Right.
And the course was amazing. We did theatre, archaeology, and film for kind of 3 years, and all the marketing subjects as well. And then in your last year, you concentrated on one basic topic, and I did archaeology. I did my very first ever stand-up comedy gig in that theatre where you are now. And so I've done a lot of plays in that place, stole a lot of props, particularly a Sweet Afton cigarettes from a Tom Murphy play called On the Inside. And I remember I did The Crucible in that, which was an amazing place to put on a play like that because it's such an intense play. And have had really good memories, particularly of the Black Box.
And you said you did your first comedy gig right here. How did the first comedy gig go?
Yeah, it was really good. It's not, but there was amazing people there at the time. There was a lecturer called Margaret Carroll, who lectured in English effectively, and she was at it and she loved it. And there was also somebody's name who I can't remember now, and I think he was an economics lecturer. And of course, you had Mark and Fiona from the theatre side. But I loved Dundalk as well because, I used to play music in McManus's pub. I used to kind of split my time between drinking pints of McCardles and trying to sing with and local singer-songwriters here like Jimmy Johnson and stuff like that. And I loved it up there, and it's a great town to get your hair cut in, buy a pair of shoes and have a few pints, What more do you need? But no, I loved Dundalk. I loved the people, the crack, lived all around it. It was just, it was just like college years should be, like the best years of your life.
Is there anything better than the Dundalk accent, hey?
It's a very specific accent, the Dundalk town accent, and but like, it's a very old town, and I think it reminds me very much of like it's an industrial town, but it has loads of the vestiges of things like the Spirit Store, which was originally a early house for the Key, that now is like a music venue and pubs, and it's full of like little kind of things like that, and collectively all together, it's an amazing town. I don't think people know enough about it to realize how culturally vibrant it is, and also, you're not that far from Carlingford, so if you want to bump into a few hen nights on a Saturday night, you could head out there, or stag nights or whatever. It's a really great town, and absolutely loved it. It's one of the big positives of going to an IT, and is that, and when I say IT, or like a larger town as opposed to a city. If you go to a city, and I live very close to UL here, and it's a beautiful college, or like if because the numbers are vast, and you'll obviously have a great time with your friends, but you mightn't necessarily experience it all together with everybody. Whereas in Dundalk during Rag Week, if you go out during Rag Week, you're going out with the vast majority of the college. I know Dundalk is a much bigger college now since when I was there, but the town feels the college an awful lot more. Like when. And you feel the town an awful lot more simply because of the size and the interaction with it. And that's what makes a huge amount of college much more rewarding, And like, again, I sound like a 42-year-old man. That's what makes it much more rewarding. But like looking back now, it did. The fact that I made friends from Dundalk, knew the town, knew little streets and kind of little weird things about it, like it makes it an awful lot different, as opposed to, cities are just bigger, and you will stay in your zone. Whereas in Dundalk, for the talk, I didn't do that. Still seize your own time, it'll always be there for you, and make it your own, and and go into the town, and go up to Fuhart and go into Sleeve Gully, and you don't have to go a million miles away to have a fabulous experience.
Bernard O'Shea, I could genuinely talk to you all day. Thank you so much. Now, I've been looking forward to this all day. DkIT offers a Bachelor of Science degree in augmented and virtual reality at both level 7 and 8. I'm joined by Charlie Behan, who is going to show me all of this kit involved. Now, understand, Charlie, AR, VR, it's kind of taking over tech, it's kind of taken over a lot of industries and taken over a lot of people's lives as well. And I cannot wait to try out this, a demonstration on these. Before we do though, I have a couple of questions, probably one you get an awful lot. What is AR and what is VR?
Yeah, of course. So, it can get pretty confusing because they're always mentioned together.
Yeah.
I like to consider them kind of like a spectrum. So, starting with virtual reality, so these are the two headsets here. To consider it, you're putting on a screen right over your eyes, a pair of goggles, I like to call them, and then you're in a complete virtual world. So it's nothing to do with the space that you're currently in. And then the other end of the spectrum, you've got augmented reality. So they're more like just regular glasses, and then only certain virtual items are augmented into the real world. So as if you see a virtual thing placed on this desk. And that's kind of the spectrum. And there's a lot of things in between, like for example, like your phone. You can use augmented reality for your phone. And a popular use case is on Snapchat.
I was going to ask you the kind of filters you can go through.
Exactly.
And have like your Memoji, your Bitmoji running around the table and things like that.
Yeah.
Amazing. So that's what the augmented reality do.
Yeah.
And so then the VR is kind of more of a screen and you look around to the left and stuff like that. Where did your love for this kind of stuff come in?
Yeah, well, when I was younger, I just loved playing video games, and I got an interest in like learning to how to make them, and then that got me into the whole 3D modeling, design, and graphics on computers. And then going through, I found this course, and then it led me to this technology, and it's made very similar to the way video games are made. And that's why I just wanted to continue learning more.
And what are the elements that you study in this course?
Yeah, so there's a load of variation, and there's a lot of different types of skills that are needed. So it's not one person can do the whole job when it comes to this sort of technology. But you've got the programming, so the technical, the logic of applications. Then you've got the 3D graphic design. But then an important thing is user experience design, so designing for your users. Because this technology is quite new, people don't really know the correct way to do it. So when you open a PC application, it's the screen with the X in the corner. people don't really know what the application should look like in these headsets yet. So there's a lot of design.
In terms of, I know Apple, I think, are working on an augmented reality type of glasses, and I know Google did it beforehand. It didn't massively take off. Why do you think not? Do you think people are maybe not ready for it, or?
Yeah, it's really hard to say, yeah, because what Google made, geez, I don't know how many years ago it is now, but
Google Glass. Or
Google Glass, yeah. People are still making glasses like that today.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, Google didn't really take off when they did it. One example of those is that I'd actually consider them smart glasses over augmented glasses because they're not actually aware of your space around you, and it's an overlay on your space. So that's like another example on that sort of spectrum between AR and VR.
Right, okay.
But yeah, it's really interesting to see what Apple is going to release. There's a lot of news on that.
I'm
it
excited
seems like
about that.
Yeah, it's going to be maybe a mix of both, and it could be connected to your phone as well.
And so what about, say for example, Teslas, self-driving cars? Would that be more augmented reality or virtual reality? Or would that be neither? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's very different, but it uses a lot of the same technology as augmented reality.
Right.
So just like a Tesla, this HoloLens, which has the same sensors and LiDAR sensors that are picking up the space around you and creating a 3D mesh of the room that you're in, and then that's how it's able to place virtual objects. So that's the same thing that's in a Tesla car, detecting if there's cars around you or not.
Amazing. Yeah. What are the kind of aspects of this course that you just love? What are the main kind of maybe subjects that you love, or the main skills that you pick up? What do you love about it?
I like a bit of everything, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't say I'm too good of a programmer, so I do like the design, but yet I do a lot.
I was going to say, you sound more a bit like a creative kind of techie than maybe a computer nerd techie, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, maybe a little. Like, to be honest, when I was in school, I didn't do art. I wasn't good at art, and I wasn't good at maths, so I don't know how I got up here. But,
I heard, I was reading last night that did you create a game or something that was released on Steam?
Oh, yes. So, yeah,
what was this game? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so again, using the same sort of modules that are in this course, so like 3D modeling and programming, I put them together to kind of make just like short game experiences.
Right.
And then eventually I was able to put a bunch of them together and release this like one game online commercially.
Amazing.
And yeah, that was a great experience to kind of release something out to the public and get the feedback from people all over the world. So
fantastic.
Really
has it been downloaded a lot, or?
Well, my commercial one has been downloaded okay amount, but the free ones, they get a lot of downloads.
Amazing. That's fantastic. Is there a lot of practical or project work in a course like this?
Yeah, a lot, and that's kind of why I loved it. I was never really good at exams or written exams or just learning theory.
Same.
Yeah, so this course was great because and a lot of it is actually group work as well. So you get to kind of like, wherever you fall short, you can find someone in the class that's can build you up there, and you can work together and build something, and it's much better output than just working by yourself.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they do give you a lot of freedom in this course. Like, what do you want to make? Do you want to make a game, or do you want to make a more traditional application, something that is a productive app? Like, for example, like we made like a horror game for our VR experience, but like some other people in our course, they made like a golf simulator to improve people's swing. So it's like really interesting, and it's just like that's where their interests lie, and this is where ours is, and we just had full freedom to go wherever we wanted.
Isn't that that is so cool? What do you want to do after?
Well, actually, yeah, I'm working in AR VR at the moment, so I work with just a variety of companies, and particularly manufacturing companies, and showing them how to use AR in a machine area and improve their productivity. So.
It sounds kind of like this area is kind of, especially careers-wise, it's just growing from strength to strength. Like, it's just growing every day.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's a lot of like, people don't really know where it's going, but a lot of people are betting on it being quite big in the future. Like, I think the biggest news I always reference is Facebook, or
the Meta.
Yeah, they're called
universe.
Meta now, and they say they're hiring 10,000 AR VR engineers in Europe over the next few years. So like,
wow.
Just that alone is insane.
That's unbelievable. Now, I feel like I've talked enough. I really want to try this on now. So I just stick it over my head?
Yeah. So the application should be running. So just once that goes on there, it should load in, and you should be in front of
Yeah.
It's
like a house, like a kind of creepy looking house.
Exactly. And if you just put up your hands there, I'm going to hand you these two controllers.
Oh, just like that, is it?
Yeah, you should be able to see them in your hands there as well.
Yeah.
And
oh
then,
my God, I've got a phone.
Yeah. So the idea in this game is you're a live streamer that's looking to get some social media fame.
Okay.
And you're coming up to this haunted mansion, and you're streaming on your phone to see what scary things you can capture that will build your fan base online.
This is It's just so real to my real life. And I bet I look really cool right now as well. So that's such a bonus. Amazing.
Yeah.
God, that is so cool. I love that. I could stay in here forever.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I get carried away, and it's like you put the headset on, and it's like daytime, and then you take it off, and it's dark time. To be honest, it's a little depressing. But
it's really weird, like hearing your voice, because when I look, you're not there. You know what I mean? Like that is so cool. I feel like once you take it off, it's a little bit
jarring.
Like, oh yeah, it's like, oh God, right back in the real world.
Yeah.
Now, if I look sexy in that, wait till I put this on. But this looks interesting to me. My God. That is just cool.
There should be something on the back as well. Oh, no, that's a snug fit on you there.
Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah.
That looks good.
So as you see now, you can just see as you normally would, but now there's applications on here that you'd actually be able to overlay on the real world. So this would be like, imagine you're walking down the street and you've Google Maps on.
Yeah.
And now you'll just see the arrows showing you where to go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's kind of neat.
There's a lot of thoughts of it, and it looks good. Charlie Behan, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And that was so cool. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thanks for having me.
Miles Hackett, you are the head of the department for nursing, midwifery and early years educators. Well, welcome and thank you so much for joining us today. Is it fair to say that nursing, midwifery and early years educators have come into the spotlight in recent years? You know, do you think this will have an effect on a number of students applying, either from a positive point of view or a negative point of view?
Yeah, absolutely. I think over the last 2 years during the pandemic, the focus on frontline workers who nurses, midwives and early years educators would be has had a very positive focus on them. I've given them a very positive feedback in relation to what they do in relation to public service and the service they provide. So particularly for our nursing and midwifery colleagues, obviously they were on the TV every night providing those services in very difficult and challenging situations. And then our early years educators, the importance of their service that they provide both to children and their families was also highlighted.
Amazing. And I know DkIT is like a national leader in the provision of nursing and midwifery and early years studies. But there's 3 types of nursing programs available in DkIT. Can you explain the differences between them for me?
Yeah, so we offer 3 undergraduate nursing programs. So there are general nursing, mental health nursing and intellectual disability nursing. So the general nursing program would focus on people over 16 years of age who are dealing with acute illnesses or long-term conditions. The mental health nursing program would look after patient service users who are experiencing mental health difficulties and focusing on helping them to recover from those. And then the intellectual disability nursing program would focus on persons with an intellectual disability throughout their lifespan.
Right. Amazing. Now there is a perception, you know, that all the caring professions are more of a vocation more than a career choice. What type of students, in your opinion, make the best nursing and midwifery students?
Yeah, so there are 3 core values which we espouse for both for nursing and midwifery, and that is compassion, caring and commitment. So they are the 3 core values that our students would have to demonstrate. So compassion in relation to respect for the person and their dignity, caring in relation to the care they provide and how that is evidence-based and always up to date, and then commitment to lifelong learning and to the profession of nursing and midwifery. So they are the 3 core values.
Amazing. Now, given the fact there is, a serious lack of male nurses in the world, also a lack of midwives and early years educators, if I was a male student today, whether I was in Leaving Cert or doing my A-levels, I was considering studying one of these disciplines, but it was a little concerned that maybe I wouldn't fit in or something like that, what advice would you give me?
Well, I don't know if I'm a role model or not, but I'm a nurse. I trained as a registered psychiatric nurse and as a general nurse. So, and a lot of my academic colleagues are male and they're all nurses as well. But I think overall that distinction between being a male and a female within nursing and midwifery or early years is changing. And we're certainly seeing a lot more male students coming onto those programs. And that's really important for the diversity of the program and also for the care and the services they'll deliver when they graduate.
Exactly, yeah, that's fantastic. And does nursing, midwifery and early childhood studies qualification allow you to continue, your studies after graduation? Like, should you wish to, I suppose? And like, what areas, if so, could I specialise in?
Yeah, and I suppose we spoke about nursing midwifery and the commitment to lifelong learning, but that's also true for early childhood studies as well, early years educators. So for nursing and midwifery, the options are so diverse. So there are a lot of areas within either clinical practice, within the academic setting, within management. For early years practitioners, it would be around maybe policy, quality, psychology, So they're very diverse and right up to level 10, which is PhD level.
Yeah, I spent 3 years here, graduated in 2017, but we spent a lot of time hanging out in the nurses building, even though we weren't in the nurses building. It is one of the nicest on campus. You know, in your opinion, what sets this DkIT nursing, midwifery and early childhood studies program apart from the competitors?
Well, I suppose
apart from the nice building.
I was going to say, apart from the excellent facilities that we have, I suppose that's one bonus. We have super facilities, really, both for nursing, midwifery and early years. Our big selling points are the facilities, the small class sizes, which is fantastic. So we have, although we have groups which are maybe 40, 50 students, we break them down even further for practicals and tutorial sessions. So our lecturers get to know the students and the students get to know the lecturers. All our academics are highly qualified, very experienced in their field, very student focused as well. And then the placements which our students undertake are top quality.
Yeah.
Located in our region, but also our students have the opportunity to travel. For example, through an Erasmus program, our students can travel to Finland, to Poland, to the UK.
Wonderful.
So they have great opportunities.
That's fantastic. Miles Hackett, Head of the Department for Nursing, Midwifery and Early Years, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you.
For all the important information on nursing, midwifery and early years, log on to our website. It's DkIT.ie. There's a number of courses in the School of Business and Humanities that cater for the student who's interested in becoming a chef or the hospitality industry. I'm joined today by Alan McCabe, the course director on the Level 7 BA in Culinary Arts, and Addy, who is a second-year Culinary Arts student, and Caroline, who is a fourth-year student in Hospitality Management. Alan, I'm curious, we've all seen those temperamental chefs. We've seen the Gordon Ramsays and, the Jamie Olivers and things like that. What kind of personality should you have in order to do a course like Culinary Arts?
Yeah, look, I think first and foremost, it's a love of cooking. And as I said, that's usually nurtured within a family, maybe a granny or a granddad or a mother who nurtures that within someone. I think it's important to dispel the myth about those temperamental chefs. Like, the culinary industry has changed so much, and chefs now are such a valuable commodity. So a lot of our chefs, they will all do work placement, and they'll also get great opportunities to work both nationally and internationally and travel, and that's really important.
And did you get your love for cooking from a grandparent or a mother?
My mother won't thank me for saying, but it was her lack of ability in cooking that sort of inspired me to sort of step on a bit. But I go back, there was a sort of a love of cooking from an early age. Right. It was before home economics was available in school, so it was just within the house. It's just something you sort of felt comfortable with.
Yeah, amazing.
And I've been lucky enough to travel the world with it as well, which is great.
Wow, where have you gone?
I've worked in Australia, I've worked in America, I've worked in the UK, in France. So I've been lucky to.
Amazing.
And then come back to home, back to Dundalk.
That's deadly. Addy, you've won a couple of awards since joining DkIT. Tell us about your winning ways.
So I did a competition for KTEX. It was a fish competition. So it was time-based competition. I had to plate up 2 portions of fish with sides. So it was a caramelized cauliflower puree, which went with the butter poached fish. I had raisin and caper puree with it, a samphire, cauliflower, and that's it.
Amazing. And you're just about to complete your second year in DkIT, and you're going to go on placement. So where are you going on placement?
I'll be going to the Glenlow Abbey in Galway.
Glenlow, I was in like the famous...
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. When do you start there?
I'll be starting from next week.
And how long does that go on for?
It is supposed to be 18 weeks, but I'll be doing 6 months because I want to learn.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, to get to Glenlow Abbey is pretty amazing. 5-star and all that. Well, congratulations on that. Worth noting as well that 32.5% of DkIT graduates have a work placement as part of their course. I'm curious, what have you loved most about studying in DkIT?
I loved pastry. Pastry is one of my favorite subjects because it is really artistic. You can plate whatever you want. You can plate in many different ways, and we get creative freedom with it to plate whatever we like, however we like. So that's one of my favorite subjects.
Amazing. See, if you do culinary arts, one of your subjects could literally be pastry. That sounds unbelievable. Caroline, you're a 4th-year hospitality management student. What was it about this college and the course that attracted you to it?
Yeah, so at first I didn't know what I want to do for my college. And then I saw this college and I saw this course to say, oh, hospitality management. Before that, I barely heard of it. But I just thought of it, say, oh, this course might allow me to travel around the world and that I can come to Ireland to study. So I think, oh, maybe I just go for it.
Amazing. And why hospitality management in general? Are you drawn to hotels, and have you stayed in a lot of hotels and things like that?
Kind of, thanks to my parents who brought me to different hotels in China to stay. So from when I was a kid, so I stay in different hotels, and so based on that, I had some knowledge before I came to college. So I said, oh, maybe that will help. And then I thought it's not that easy to know how a hotel operates because there are so many departments in a hotel.
It's so big.
Yes,
yeah,
it
yeah.
is. So so that's not like as easy as it sounds, like hospitality management, like how to manage a hotel. So I thought that this course can help me to learn more about hotel management. So I just came for this hotel.
Wasn't it amazing as a kid exploring a hotel for
Yes,
the first time when
yes.
you first arrived?
I got luck,
and
yeah.
Going up to all the different floors and seeing what was on it
Exactly.
and things like that. Oh, I love that. Addy, you're going to plate something up for us today, which I'm very excited about because I haven't had breakfast yet. What have you got for us?
So I'm going to be plating a chocolate tart.
Okay, yeah,
So-
I can do a chocolate tart. See, the thing about me is like I'm quite possibly the most pickiest eater in the entire world, but this all looks amazing, so I'm happy out.
So this is toffee sauce.
Toffee sauce. Oh, look, you can tell he's gone to the Glenlow Abbey, can't you?
So I'll be putting the chocolate finger right there.
Amazing.
I'll be putting some raspberries.
I've always wondered how, the chefs do this. I always thought when it looked, so fancy, I thought there was multiple people doing it, but it's just Addy. Is this something you learn how to do to like design a plate, even for something that's so small as the what did you call it, a chocolate finger or chocolate?
Yeah, chocolate finger.
Is this something you learn how to do?
This is what we learn on campus actually, and also with watching different kinds of food,
Yeah.
reviewing everything. You just happen to learn how to plate.
Amazing. So what's this going
This
on?
is tuile. This is for the crisp element on the tart.
I'm so hungry watching this. Such precision. I love it.
I'm just learning.
Yeah, you're very good at it. I need to get a bit of all pieces now. I need to get a taste of everything. Lovely bit of cream. I was wondering what the water was for. I thought that's a weird topping to go on a brownie. Okay, so I'm curious, what's the best way to eat this? So do I get a raspberry? Is this a raspberry?
Oh yeah.
Raspberry. So I get raspberry first and then go into that and then go into that? Or would I go 1, 2, 3? I want to get the best experience out of this plate.
So for the best experience, I'd suggest take a little bit of everything and
Okay.
taste it.
Okay, so just like this?
Yeah.
Go in like that. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of cream. And what's this on the cream?
That's the chocolate crumble.
Okay, and then I'm going to get a raspberry in there as well.
Yeah.
Just get the fruit in, 5 a day and all that. Unbelievable. I love that. I think the Glenlow Abbey are very lucky to have you. And I could definitely get used to this presenting gig. I'm happy out. Thank you, Addy.
Thank you, no problem.
Another brand new course on the CAO this year in the School of Informatics and Creative Arts is Computing, Systems and Operations. This course is so new, it's not even on our prospectus yet. So if you do want details, you can check out the website and we're here to help. You can get in touch with our admissions team and ask any questions you like. So to help all our viewers figure out if this might be the course for them, I'm joined by Stephen Howell from Microsoft. Welcome, Stephen.
Hi.
I'm curious, Computing, Systems and Operations, what makes this such a top drawer offering from DkIT?
Well, it's one of these new courses which takes a different approach to how we prepare our graduates for the industry that's evolving very quickly.
Yeah.
So most people, when they study a degree, they come out ready to do a very particular thing and their career is very clear and obvious. They're going to be a doctor or a nurse or whatever it is. And when you're studying computing, it can be really hard to know what are you actually going to be doing. So this is one of those courses that gives you a fantastic grounding in all the many different paths you can have as an IT graduate, whether you're working in operations, systems, design, development, or deployment. There's so many paths, and this is one of these new exciting degrees that gives you the full spectrum of what you need to know to launch yourself into this, hugely growing career.
And so in your opinion, what kind of student should log on to the DkIT website to review this course?
Well, it's always really hard to make students aware of these because guidance counsellors and parents often aren't familiar with this industry, and it's a very new industry.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was doing my Leaving Cert, you could not do the job that I'm doing now because they hadn't invented it yet. And it's the same thing for my kids who are doing the Leaving Cert. They are going to be doing jobs that probably haven't been invented yet. So the type of student who would be, probably get something that they didn't expect out of a course like this is the type of student who's interested in technology and maybe is interested in a career in computing, but they've heard it's a lot of maths and maybe maths isn't their favorite subject, so they're kind of not going near that. And I would strongly urge any student who's good at problem solving, thinking on their feet, likes to figure out what went wrong when something breaks and figure out how to fix it. Doesn't matter about your maths, doesn't matter if you hate maths, it doesn't matter if you're a languages type of person. Don't be afraid to look at these courses because they really need someone who has a broad spectrum of skills. You're not specialized in one thing. You're not a maths genius. You like getting stuck in and figuring things out. And that's the type of student that will really thrive in a course like this.
That's amazing. And it just sounds so interesting to be able to problem solve and not having to love maths or anything like that is really good. Is there a major difference between this course and someone who maybe want to do like a computer science course?
Well, there are differences, but they're very complementary. So traditional computer science would have more of a focus on math skills. And maybe it doesn't need to, it's just kind of the history of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get away from it. We've been doing it that way for so long. So, I went to school in Louth many years ago, sadly, and I studied the same kind of subjects that most students here in Louth are studying. And if I was going to apply to Dundalk, the courses I would be doing if I did computer science would be similar. They'd be updated to the courses that, I did many years ago. Whereas these courses are taking a slightly different approach. They're a combination of specializing in an area, but broadening out the focus so that you actually have more career opportunities if you study this.
Yeah.
So I would say it's complementary. The type of student who might prefer computer science is one who's very interested in app design and development, whereas the new course is very much on keeping the whole system working.
Right.
A lot of people, when they click on their phone to watch a video on whatever app it is, they just expect the video to be there.
Yeah.
And they might think the person who made the video appear there is the app developer. And that's true. Someone had to write the program in the first case. That's kind of forgetting that there's a whole huge number of people who make the whole internet work.
Yes.
And we forget about them. And some of those people are from County Louth and are going to DkIT, and you don't realize it, but they're kind of making the tech world go round.
Yeah.
And any student watching this could be one of those too. You don't need to be born with any special tech skills. You don't have to be related to some sort of famous maths genius. This is something that anyone can do. Who can do the Leaving Cert, you could do this degree.
I travelled all the way from Waterford today to host this show, but it wouldn't be much of a production if I didn't get to show off what made DkIT for me. I studied here in the PJ Carroll's building and spent many a day here in the studio and the radio studio, of course. And look, this is all at your disposal. Today was filmed by second year students Orla, Tamiwa is over there on that camera, Coco over here, Molly was the floor manager, thank you Molly. It was directed by Theo O'Grady, an industry legend who worked with all of the students today, ably assisted by Lorcan Dunn, TV studio lecturer for the BA Hons in film and television production. I had Michael on the audio cue, I appreciate you Michael, and Jack and Richard on sound. Lads, you made today so incredibly easy for me, so thank you so much. And the studio guru was Paul O'Hale, who made everything work so perfectly, including our link to Bernard O'Shea, so thank you so much Paul. A huge thank you from me and a huge thank you to Linda McQuaid and Ryan Duffy who asked me to come here today. I've enjoyed it thoroughly and I hope I see you again soon.